That's probably one of the reasons why I ended up with an abusive husband, emotionally abusive. And I always had a hard time understanding or accepting that God loved me. And I always thought I was somehow special. Like, God loves everybody else. And I know God loves the world. I mean, he says that in the Bible. God loves us in a general sense. But me personally, I mean, how could he really love me personally? And I know I could argue with myself, and my intellect, understood that God loved me, but my heart just couldn't accept it. And I don't know what happened, but in probably about 4 years ago, I just said, "This is abuse." I was able to speak it and say it and accept it, because up to that point, I think I was in denial. And I spoke to my counselor, who was a Christian, and I told her about how I had a hard time accepting God's love. So she had me read Psalm 139, and I read it slowly. She said, "Read it slowly, absorb it, pray through it, read it word by word. Look at one word, emphasize it, just think about it, meditate on it." And that was, I think it was reading Psalm 139 and also her helping me to understand that God doesn't love me because of who I am. God loves me because of who he is. And he created me with dignity. He created me in his image, and he is love. And so even when I am not perfect, which when are we ever really perfect? But I can come up with all the reasons why God shouldn't love me, right?
Right.
But he loves us anyway. And so that was the foundation of my healing. That was the beginning. And
It's amazing.
if God loves me, I should have boundaries. If God loves me, I have dignity. If God loves me, I should not let people abuse me. If God loves me, I have worth. And that was the very beginning of my healing journey.
That's amazing story. And tell me, how has God worked through the last, okay, that was 4 years ago. So how has God played a role in the last 4 years and growing your coaching business? How has God played a role in that?
Well, I stayed with my husband for the sake of my kids, and it came to the point where I had to leave for the sake of my kids. So I left, and I decided, okay, I should back up a little bit. I was doing a little bit of coaching on and off, but I also had a baby in 21, the same time I was certified. I had a baby, and I have 11 children total, homeschool. I didn't feel like I should be pouring myself into my coaching. Plus, I had planned on just the work was going to land on my lap, and that didn't end up
Mm-hmm.
happening because, anyway.